Towards the end of the year, as we hit 7.25%, or if we hit 7.25%, and again importantly, if inflation rises as opposed to stays at 1%, that the Fed would begin to taper, and that ultimately they would end tapering in perhaps the first quarter of 2014. Is that a realistic possibility? At PIMCO, we don't think that really is. We think that the chairman and the Fed is taking very much of a cyclical type of view. I mean, he blames lower growth basically on fiscal austerity and expects towards the end of the year, once that's gone, that all of a sudden the economy will be growing at 3%. He blames, housing prices moving up on homeowners that simply like higher home prices, as opposed to emphasizing the mortgage rate, which is really what has, provided the lift in the first place. So, to a certain extent, his driving analogy in which he talked about pulling back on the accelerator, I think he may be driving in a fog. I think the Fed itself may be driving in a fog to think that it's a cyclical as opposed to a structural, problem in terms of our economy. I simply think, and I think PIMCO simply thinks, that real growth, to lower unemployment below 7% is a long shot over the next 6 to 12 to 18 months.
Bernanke may be driving in a fog. Wow, that's quite a statement there from you. Structural issues that just can't necessarily be addressed through Fed policy right now?
Well, several, Trish. Certainly globalization in terms of dampening wages. That's been with us for a long time, but it's not going away. Demographics in terms of the aging of our society and the boomers, et cetera. Which produces a lowered level of demand, and the race against the machine, in which technology is basically eliminating jobs as opposed to providing them. So, he makes no mention of these, and these, to our way of thinking, are significant in terms of keeping unemployment higher than what he suggests is a 5 to 6% new NAIRU type of range. To the extent that we can get to 5 to 6% in the headwinds of these structural, elements that I just suggest, it's a tall order.